Yo, yo, what's up? Coach D here. Okay, so low-fat diets are fucking stupid, and I'm gonna explain why, okay? Because there's a lot of fitness influencers these days, a lot of social media gurus that are on the market today that are telling you all this shit, and I understand that a lot of this can be very, very, very confusing. I totally get it, 1000%, okay? Which is originally why I wrote my book to begin with, was because there was so much misinformation out there and so much bullshit that was out there that I'm like, dude, I need to write a book and give them a clear-cut path so that way they can get shredded, right? Like this. See all those? Right? And those haven't even been updated in 10 years, right? But just to give you a point, okay? Low-fat diets are fucking stupid, okay? They're fucking stupid, and here's why. Anybody, and this is a red flag for you, anybody that is trying to put you on a low-fat diet, it's a red flag for two reasons. Number one, it's a red flag because they're fucking stupid if they're trying to put you on low fats, because fats are an essential macronutrient that you need in order for you to actually function, in order for you to fucking live, okay? If you don't have enough fats, you die, okay? So why would you take fats out of the diet, right? It's essential, you have to have it, right? Your hormones made out of it, your brain is made out of it, your cellular membranes are made out of it, your like some of the nutrients that you need to absorb, they need fats in order for your body to absorb them, right? So when you start cutting the fats out of your diet, what's gonna happen is your testosterone plummet, okay? Your mental health plummets, right? And it's because you need fat. So you'll see like a lot of these people who work with these PED using gurus, right? Who are on all kinds of performance enhancing drugs, so they don't need to worry about their testosterone levels tanking, right? From cutting their fats out. So these guys are on all kinds of stuff, boosting their testosterone levels up from chemical enhancements, so they ain't gotta worry about eating fats. So they can just cut their calories by just slashing their fats out, no problem, and lose fat, right? But they're losing their mental health and all those other things though, right? But they can keep their test levels high because they're enhanced, right? So for a normal human being, a normal natural man that isn't a little bitch trying to jump on TRT, because that's what I think you guys are, little bitches trying to hop on TRT, because look folks, the reason why you have low testosterone is because you've been eating low-fat diets, okay? It's because you've been protein deficient. It's because you haven't been lifting and you've been eating nothing but fucking carbs. That's why your testosterone levels are in the shitter, and you don't get any fucking sunshine, and you sleep like shit because you eat like shit, and you eat a whole bunch of fucking carbs and sugar, and that's destroying your testosterone and destroying your sleep, right? So because of that, your test levels, right? So men today have like half of the men, just 30 years ago, 40 years ago, right? Like your grandfather has higher testosterone levels than like the average man today, okay? That's how bad this shit is, and it's by design, you guys. They have literally done this on purpose. Okay, and it begins from the childhood, right? Begins from that, and then it gets into the food, right? Straight to the pharmaceuticals, right? It's all by design. Okay, I'm actually not going to go there on this video because I don't want YouTube to ban me. So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. But just know, okay, it's on purpose. All right, and you have to be aware of what's going on and do the things daily to take care of yourself. So this is why low-fat diets are fucking stupid. Because if you get on a low-fat diet, your testosterone tanks, your health tanks, okay? Do not get on low-fat diets. When it comes to you creating the necessary calorie deficit that you need to create consistently to burn body fat, you need to slash it from your carbs, okay? Why? Carbs are inessential. Inessential. What does that mean? You don't fucking need it, okay? That's what that means. You can live without it. That's what that means, okay? To anybody that's telling you, you need carbs for energy, you need carbs for glucose. Another red flag, they're a fucking idiot. Ignore them, because your body can make glucose out of protein if it needs to. Your body can turn fats into ketones, which it runs better off anyway, okay? So you don't need carbs for the energy, okay? Fuck those people, all right? They're retarded. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, all right? This is simple fucking science, okay? Losing fat is a really easy journey, guys. And all getting lean is just getting to low body fat levels, right? When you start getting like to 10% and below, that's when you start to see shit. right? It's when your abs come out. It's whenever you start to get veins and shit. It's when you start to see definition in the shoulders and stuff. Start to see triceps and shit. That's whenever you see that, right? When you start getting to like 10% and below, that's when that stuff starts to come. That comes from fat loss, body fat loss, okay? So anyways, back to my whole rant about low-fat diets being fucking stupid, okay? So I know, trust me, you guys, I see the same ads you guys do. I see this, and this is why I'm making this video, because I want to clarify this. And above all else, like I want you to be shredded, right? Like I'm the man that gets like business owners shredded. Like that's what I do, right? But above that, I want you to have healthy, high quality lives. I want you guys living to 100 years old, right? The average American today is only living to like 73 to 76-ish, right? Dudes around 73, women 76-ish, right? And it's actually falling. Okay, our life expectancy is falling because we eat like shit. Okay, we eat like shit. There's been this attack on low fat since like the 1960s, right? Which was sponsored by the sugar industry. Hello, this is a fact. Okay, you can go look it up. Go look this up on Google. Go look this up. Type in this phrase: sugar industry pays Harvard scientists. Just go look that up. Go read the article. There's one that the New York Post wrote back in 2016 where they're talking about this, how the sugar industry is actually the one that sponsored that basically lie back in the 1960s that led to the low-fat era, that led to all these companies taking the fats out of food, right? And when you take the fats out of food, it tastes like shit, right? It tastes like fucking cardboard, right? That's why like when you're eating like chicken, for example, you eat chicken breast, it's super lean, right? Tastes like fucking shit, right? Because it's got no fat in it, right? You go get some chicken thighs, you're like, that's so good, right? Why? Because it's got a lot of fat in it, right? Now, same thing whenever it comes to eating steak, okay? When you're eating steaks, what you gotta be careful with when you're eating your protein sources, because it always comes down to a calories game, right? When you eat steaks, when you eat a really lean one, you're like, that was all right, right? But you eat one that's like delicious, like a New York strip or a ribeye, right? It's amazing. Why? Because it's a high fat cut, right? Fats taste good. So what happened is back in the 1960s, 70s, right? They started taking the fats out of food when they launched this low fat era, right? Take the fats out, which are essential macronutrient is fats, right? They took this out of the foods, and then all these processed food companies started putting in more sugar, more flour into their products, right? If you look at the graphs of when our obesity epidemic took off, our cancer, heart disease, autoimmune diseases, Alzheimer's, all that stuff, right after that low-fat era. Literally, right after that, right? And that low-fat era has literally cost you family members. You have lost many family members because of that fucking lie that was sponsored by Big Sugar. Think about that shit. Okay, this whole system, they ain't looking out for you. They only looking out for this, okay? I'm looking out for you, which is why I'm trying to tell you this, because like I was telling you, although I want you to be shredded, and I want you to have abs, and I want you to be lean and sexy and confident, having high levels of testosterone and being vibrant, living to 100 plus, right? My number one priority above that, actually, my number two is you being shredded and stuff. My number one is you living to 100 plus and having high quality life, okay? So that's why I'm telling you this. You need a significant amount of fats in your diet every single day for you to function optimally. For most men, 100 grams plus. For most girls, 65 grams plus, okay? In order for you to function optimally. Now, if you have days where you're below that, right? For a day or two, no big deal, right? But on a regular basis and an average, you wanna make sure you're over 100 grams, guys, so that way you can keep your testosterone levels high. So that way you can feel like a man, you can build muscle, and you can get lean, right? And you can feel like fucking savage, right? Right? So you have to eat fats, you guys. So the two main most important macronutrients that you have to have in your diet is protein from animal sources, not fucking shakes and yogurts and fucking protein bars. Animal sources, okay? Okay, all right? And fats, right? And your fats, you're gonna get them a lot from your animal sources. So if you're doing like ground beef or whole eggs or chicken thighs, you're gonna get a lot of your fats for the day from those foods. Like you may not have to add anything to it, right? Like I for the most part on most of my days don't have to ever add any fats to my foods because I get them all from my meats. Because I eat about a pound of ground beef every day, and I usually eat eggs every day, right? Whole eggs, right? So just between just those two things that I eat, my fats are, they're already there, right? And then I add butter to some things too to add more flavor to it, right? So get more fats that way too. So the main thing I'm trying to tell you here is that if you are coming across somebody who is preaching a low-fat diet, that is a red fucking flag, okay? A red flag that this motherfucker is stupid and this motherfucker's on drugs, and they're likely, because I see this a lot too, guys, and I'm just trying to warn you because I see this a lot, because I have a lot of people who come to me and they show me this information and they tell me this information that, you know, yeah, they were checking out these coaches and they were kind of interviewing coaches and seeing who they wanted to work with, and, you know, this coach and this coach and this coach were immediately already trying to put them on PEDs right away. I'm anti that shit. I'm all about building naturally high testosterone levels by doing high levels of self-care, right? Which is real simple, okay? So all you gotta do is just make sure you're prioritizing yourself, making sure you're eating right, you're getting some sunshine, you're sleeping right, and you're just doing what you're supposed to do as a man. Your T levels will be through the roof, right? Your libido is gonna be like you're fucking 18, okay? My libido is like I'm fucking 18 years old, okay? I'm 45, all right? So, but anyways, the point I'm trying to get across here is if you come across a lot of these people on social media, you're going to see that they preach low fat, low fat, low fat, low fat, right? And which is a red flag. They're on fucking drugs. They're probably going to try and put you on it. Number two, they clearly don't understand nutrition, because if they understood nutrition, they would understand that going low fat would fucking ruin your life. Okay, send you into fucking depression, send you into having all kinds of mental health issues, and then destroying your hormone levels, right? Which is gonna end up leading to you binging, right? You're eventually gonna fall off the fucking wagon and then binge on all kinds of shit because your body's fucking starving for its essential macronutrients, so it's just gonna fucking crave everything, right? And then you're gonna end up falling off the wagon, getting fat, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I'm so fucking fat, piece of shit, right? But it was because you had the low-fat diet. And this is also something that you see that's really, really common with competitors, okay? Physique competitors. Like I've done 12 shows myself, okay? I don't compete anymore. I haven't competed in almost 10 years, but I've done a lot of shows myself. And you see this a lot with the fitness competitors, that they do these low-fat diets because they're all on fucking drugs and shit, right? Like I'm like one of the most natural, like one of the only influencers on social media that's natty, okay? I can literally name the natural people on one hand. Okay, it's probably with half my hand, okay? I'm one of them, and there's only like a few more, okay? Because they're all on all kinds of shit, all right? So, but when I used to compete in shows that weren't tested. And these motherfuckers are juiced out, okay? Juiced out. And they would do these really, really low-fat diets. And then what would happen was, because their mental health and everything was tanking so bad, what would happen was that their last few weeks of their prep, they would feel like absolute dog shit. They're all grumpy and cranky and starving and just wanting to eat everything in sight. And then what happens is, come show day, right, after they go through their, because there's usually two parts of the physique show. There's prejudging, which is in the morning, and then there's usually an evening show, which is the finals at night, where they do the announcements of who won. After prejudging, usually everybody goes out and fucking binges and has a fucking cheat meal, right? And they'll go out and eat fucking hamburgers and french fries and fucking ice cream and pizza and all this shit after prejudging, because the decision's pretty much already been made at that point, right? And then they binge, right, that whole day, and then they end up binging for weeks after. They gain 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking pounds after the show, because they were doing this fucking low-fat diet the entire fucking time that they were dieting, and they were completely losing it, okay? And it was basically making them want to fucking binge. And then whenever they finally hit their goal of doing the show, they just lost it, right? Meanwhile, I'm eating my normal shit, still staying shredded, still doing my same shit, right? Not even fucking worried about it, because I didn't do low fats, right? I ate fats the entire time. And it's the same thing that I teach my athletes for the ones that actually compete, right? Same thing. We always keep our fats high, because this makes the dieting process really easy, you guys. Like, if you've ever dieted and you felt like absolute dog shit, there's a few reasons for that. Number one, you probably did low fats, right? Or you weren't even tracking them, right? And then you were just slashing your calories and eating mostly processed shit. So naturally you were getting low fat and low protein. So you felt like absolute ass. Number two, you probably weren't getting enough electrolytes and water, right? Which is a very, very common mistake that people make whenever they're on the dieting journey. You have to make sure your water and your salt levels are high, right? And that's why you always end up fucking binging, right? So anyways, so back to my whole point, why low fat's fucking stupid, okay? Now does it make more sense? Okay, we always keep the fats high because we want our testosterone levels high. We want our hormone levels high. We want our mental health high. We want our energy levels high. We want everything feeling good during the dieting process, right? So, and by keeping your fats high, your proteins high, right, and slashing your carbs out of it, you will feel good during the cutting phase, the fat loss phase, right? As long as your water's good, your salt is good, right? And you're getting enough of your essential macronutrients, your protein and fats, right? This journey is much simpler than it may sound on this video. It's really fucking easy, you guys. It's really just eat primarily protein and fats, limit your calories every day, burn calories every day. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You do that every single day, you're gonna get fucking shredded. Like, that's it. That's literally all you gotta do, you guys. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, that's why, like, if you guys follow me, I teach a carnivore style diet, right? And the reason is that I teach carnivore is for number one, it's high protein, high fat. Your essential macronutrients, right? Remember, I just told you, I want your health and everything to be on point, right? That's why. That's why I love carnivore, right? The other side of that is too, and the reason why carnivore is so powerful is after you get past the first week or so of kicking your carb addiction, because all of you are addicted to fucking carbs, in case you didn't know that. You are full on fucking heroin addicts with sugar and refined carbs, okay? So typically with my new clients, what I have them do first is I have them do the first week as a sugar detox. And then week two, then I actually give them their diet and their macros and all that stuff. And then, and if they wanna go fast, they just jump into phase three, which is the carnivore diet, right? Or they can work their way up to it. It's up to them. I have 3 phases to my nutrition. But the fastest way, right? Like most of my clients that are the ones that get like shredded in like 10, 12 weeks, right? My guys that get shredded in like 10, 12 weeks, they go straight carnivore out of the gate. Hitting their macros every day, training like fucking animals, just killing the game, right? And they get shredded super, super fast. And the reason why doing the low carb, high protein, high fat version of a carnivore is more effective is because this. When you eat any type of carbs, right? You have a banana, you have some potatoes, you have some rice, you have oats, beans, any type of carb, the moment it touches your tongue, it's gonna spike dopamine. That dopamine is gonna fade really fast, right? So you ever taste something and you're like, oh my God, that's so good. That's the dopamine. You're getting high, okay? So you're getting high from it, right? Dopamine's gonna fade. Now you want another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, right? And this is why whenever you have a bite, especially of like processed and refined shit or sugary shit, that once you have a bite, you fucking lose your shit, right? That's why. It's because you're chasing the dopamine high and they become very addictive, right? So when you cut the carbs out, you cut out that addiction, right? You cut out those cravings. So after you kick the habit, which takes about a week, right? If you do it right, it takes about a week. The first few days you'll feel like shit. And then by about day 4, 5, 6, 7, you start to feel better, right? By day 7, you feel fucking awesome, right? And then from there, it makes it much easier to stay on point because you're not dealing with the cravings, right? A lot of you guys have cravings every single day because you're consuming things that are triggering them. Things like pre-workouts, things like coffee creamers, things like energy drinks. Anything that has a sweetener in it, anything that has a carb in it, anything that has a sugar in it is gonna trigger more cravings, right? And then what's gonna happen is that you're not gonna have the willpower to say no. So you're going to give in and you're gonna end up overeating. Now, once you get on like the carnivore style diet, you kick the habit, right? And then you start eating what you're supposed to. Carnivore actually makes you feel full. And then you have no interest in food. Like when you're hitting your protein goals, right? And you literally have no interest in food. You're like, I'm not even hungry. I can't even finish my food right now, right? And because you're not addicted to those carbs anymore, you're not having those cravings. And when you don't have those cravings, it's easy to stay on point, right? Right. So that's one of the reasons why I love carnivore. Number 2, same thing. So when you consume any type of carb, whether it's a fruit or rice, a potato or whatever, anytime you consume anything like that, it is going to trigger a storage hormone called insulin. When insulin is released into your system, fat burning shuts off. Okay, so think about this. A lot of you're eating carbs at breakfast, snacking on carbs, eating some carbs with lunch, eating some carbs with dinner. So you're basically in a constant state of having insulin levels in your body all the time, right? Not burning any fat, even though your calories may be in check, right? See what I'm saying? And what happens is, because your insulin levels are constantly elevated because of the shit you keep eating. And this is why carnivore is so powerful too, because you're not getting these big spikes of insulin. So you're spending more time burning body fat, okay? So that's what I'm trying to get across to you. And that's all I have for you guys today. What's up, Jeffy? It's time for me to train now, but that's why low-fat diets are fucking stupid.